Hello, Miss Sinclair. I haven't pre-scripted any of this. I'm going to try to just spit out something and perhaps read these two questions here on the blackboard and see if I can at least submit something before it's due, before it's too late. So starting with the first question, do you think the perception of yourself and others impacts your success as an employee? Please explain your point of view. I think it does. Um, of course, how I perceive myself is going to influence how I try to interact with people at work. For example, if I thought I was all that in a bag of chips, I could do no wrong, then I would probably just have a carefree attitude towards doing my work, and that's not really a good thing. Also, if I had the feeling that certain people were perhaps upset with me, or someone didn't really like me, I would try to work in such a way that I don't mess up anything else or offend anyone, and just try to stay out of people's way. So a lot of that all happens up here in my head. Um, you know, Social interactions and societal influences, these are things that largely you have control over. You can choose to not be influenced by it or to be completely controlled by it. And so, how you perceive yourself is also going to reflect on how you think society is perceiving you. So how I perceive myself is going to be very important in the workplace, and it's going to have a huge impact on my success as an employee. Um, that's really my thoughts on that one. And next part says, talk to me about how you go about perceiving someone correctly. Um, Also, is it possible to perceive someone correctly? I don't think it's possible to perceive someone correctly. Well, actually, I take that back. It is possible, but it's incredibly unlikely to be able to perceive someone correctly because you have no idea what's going on in their head, and especially with new people you meet, you have no idea what their body language is or certain things they've learned over time, and you can't even in knowing somebody for a year or longer, you can't really pin down who they are exactly and exactly what they need in life just based off of that incredibly short amount of time. I guess the reason why I have that opinion is because a lot of marriages, spouses take a long time to get to know each other, and when I say a long time, I mean an entire lifetime. People change. You learn things about them that perhaps they didn't even know about themselves because instead of seeing the world from the inside out, you're looking at them from the outside in, and it just gives you a completely different perspective. And there's a lot you can learn throughout decades of being in a relationship or being in a family. And and the same thing with friendships. The longer a friendship lasts, the more you learn about that person. And guaranteed, how you perceive somebody within 10 years is going to be wildly different than how you perceive them when you first met them, or in the first month that you met them, or even in the first year that you met them. So I think it's important to kind of harness, or I should say, control your expectations of other people, because you can't control what other people do and what other people say. You can only control how you react to those people, and what do you do. One of the best things to do is to not judge others and just be mindful of your mostly try to be mindful of your own shortcomings, because how are you supposed to point out somebody else's flaws when you can't even point out your own? I think that's my position on that. Question number 4 is, why is it important that you are aware of your own and others' nonverbal cues? How do you use nonverbal communication to understand if your message is understood? Name 3 observable nonverbal cues in your response. I think I was just talking about some of that, is that when you meet new people for the first time or you start a new job, you don't really understand the nonverbal, I guess the physical speech, whatever it's called, body language of the people that you're interacting with, and knowing those cues and knowing how they, react to things is extremely important. It's very important in understanding what it is they're really trying to say. Like, say somebody comes up to you and they're just like, "Hey man, I saw this thing that you did, and like, I just want to show you how to do it correctly, real quick." And they're just trying to help you out. Um, I could be like, "Okay, cool, yeah, that's whatever. I mean, show me how to do it. I'm new, so whatever." And I could probably, just based off of the tone of their voice, I could probably assume that they're just like, "Hey, I want to help out the new guy. He doesn't look like he did something right, so I'll just kind of show him how to do it real quick." But if somebody came up and said the exact same sentence but slightly different, like, "Hey man, I saw this thing you did wrong. Just come over here with me and let me show you how to do it correctly really quick." And they have like this concern on their face, like they're scrunching their eyebrows like I was doing. That would communicate with me that they're not just trying to help me, it's that the thing that I did was probably going to impact a future job or the aircraft or whatever in a very negative way. I perhaps broke something that would have caused a catastrophe later. So it's important to read people's cues, their nonverbal cues, and that's what else can I say about it? So I guess the eyebrow thing is one of them. It wants me to name 3 observable nonverbal cues. I also know that when people look up, like at the ceiling or at the floor, they look around, they don't have eye contact. That doesn't mean that they're lying, as most people think it does. It actually means that they're looking for information. They're trying to sort things out in their brain in order to pull it out and give you the correct answer or whatever. I do it a lot. In fact, I probably did it in this video because I'm not looking at the camera while I'm speaking. And so a third nonverbal cue. Um, hmm. I don't know. You would have to. I'm not an expert on this. I just know certain things, and I know. Put it this way. I don't know everything. I only know what I know. So, yeah, there we go. Thank you. I wanted to say. Hold on. I appreciate you calling me earlier today because I know you have a lot of students in this class at the moment, probably over 100. And the fact that you decided to call me and make sure that I was going to pass this class really it made me think, wow, I really need to step up and just get this done, because if she's taking time out of her day to make sure 1 out of her 100 students is passing, then why am I not doing what I can to actually pass? So thank you for reaching out to me earlier today. Yeah, that's what I want to say. Appreciate it. Thank you. Bye.